All right. Thank you all for joining us for this inauguration of the new Silicon Labs Hyderabad office. As you all know, Silicon Labs is a leader in secure, intelligent, wireless connectivity, driving a more connected world. This is Silicon Labs' largest global engineering center for wireless connectivity innovation. With our expansion in Hyderabad, we can continue to grow our talented team developing cutting-edge products, which are IoT wireless solutions that are advancing industrial, commercial, home, and life applications. This office is a symbol of Silicon Labs' commitment to India, and we are well positioned to contribute to capture the growth of Internet of Things, the trillions of devices that are coming in India and around the world. We are extremely honored today to be joined by our Silicon Labs CEO, Matt Johnson, and his entire Silicon Labs executive staff here. So thank you, everyone. A big round of applause for them. We just learned that the Honorable Minister, Shri K.T. Rama Rao, was held up with some pressing matters, but we're really grateful and honored to be joined today by Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji, who is the Principal Secretary of the Industries and Commerce and Information Technology Departments of the Telangana government. If I may request Matt to please hand over a little sapling. I think for those of us in Hyderabad, Shri Jayesh Ranjan doesn't need any introduction. Very well accomplished, IAS, MBA, multiple accolades to his credit. And I really want to thank him for the work he's doing with the ministry and with Minister K.T. Rama Rao Garu, that the state of Telangana has become one of the most business-friendly state for the high-tech industry, and has put Hyderabad on the world map, and hence Silicon Labs chose Hyderabad over Bangalore and other competing locations. So thank you, Jayesh. So with that, I would like to hand over to our CEO, Matt Johnson, to say a few words to the audience here. Matt, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for being here. This is a really exciting day for us. If you step back and look at the big picture, Silicon Labs is the largest company in the world focused on the IoT wireless space. And we do that by really providing complete solutions for our industry and our space. We provide the hardware, the software, the development tools, the support and the know-how to connect devices to the edge of the network, to digitize, to bring intelligence and smarts to the edge of the network. This is what we do as a company. And we do that by providing the industry's leading, unparalleled breadth, depth, and focus in what we do. And when I say breadth, I'm talking about the most broad wireless technology support in the industry, the largest ecosystem support in the industry, and the broadest market support in the industry. So that means we support literally tens of thousands of customers and thousands of applications in our space. And we do that with breadth of technology, breadth of knowledge in our space, depth of knowledge in our space that's unparalleled as well. We invented a lot of these technologies that we support. So because of that, we're able to provide industry-leading performance from a wireless perspective, leading battery life, leading security, leading machine learning, and leading ease of use. Because to make it easy, you have to understand the space. So we have that breadth, we have that depth, and last but not least, we have that focus that matters so much. This is all that we do and are focused on because we want to capture this opportunity that's unparalleled in our industry. And that opportunity I'm talking about is connecting devices. If you look at the opportunity that we see, it used to be discussed in tens of billions, and now it's hundreds of billions. And now we're talking about trillions of connected devices globally that we want to capture that opportunity. We want to drive and lead that to make that happen. And when you think about what that'll bring from an economic perspective and from a societal perspective, it's so exciting and such a meaningful mission to be part of. And this site, this team, plays an integral role in us capturing that opportunity. This site, our vision is to be the leader in IoT wireless in the region and our Wi-Fi center of excellence. So if we're going to capture and maximize that opportunity that's unparalleled in our industry, this site is going to be right at the core of that and an integral part of that mission, which is incredibly exciting. Right? One of our values as a company is to hire, foster, and empower great talent. This site is an extension of that philosophy, right? We've grown from 200 to over 500 in the last couple of years. And our vision is to triple that in the next few years moving forward. And the only way we can do that and capture that opportunity I mentioned is with just empowered innovators who believe in what we're doing. And I believe that this site has the potential to do that, and that's incredibly exciting. So, last but not least, we are absolutely honored as a company to be part of this community, to be part of an area with such rich history of innovation, to have such a rich talent base, and to be part of the community, to be able to give and participate in the community that we live and work in. It's just an incredible honor. So this is a big milestone today for this team, for this site, but it's also a huge milestone for us as a company, and we're incredibly excited by that. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Matt. Now I would like to invite Shri Jayesh Ranjanji to say a few words to us. Jayesh, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Manish, Matt, Mr. Venkatesh, Manish, all the senior leaders who are here from Silicon Lab, staff members. First of all, my congratulations on my own behalf and also on behalf of Mr. K.T. Ramarao, Minister for IT, who till morning was primed to come here. But in the morning, he has been asked to stay back to attend to some other important work. But he was very, very eager to come here and look for him, see for himself what kind of new advancements are happening in this world. So I'm sure when I tell him about my own experiences, he'll be very, very pleased. So congratulations, first of all, on setting up your new office here. Also for your amazing successes over the last few years. In fact, I was sharing this with them earlier, that many years ago, I had actually been to the offices of Red Pine when it was in a different building. And he had, Mr. Venkat had shown me some of those activities which were happening there, some of the products that he was working on. And I remember now it also brings back another interesting memory. I forget the name of the Japanese investor who was there that day. One of the very eminent Japanese investors who is into hardware and new technologies, he was visiting, and that was the occasion I was also asked to come and meet him. And he was equally impressed. He must have seen hundreds of such facilities across the world. But I recall I could notice in his eyes the excitement and the sheer pleasure of seeing something new being created there. And then subsequently, when I was in the US, Venkat had invited me to the Red Pine office at Santa Clara, and I remember spending about almost a couple of hours there, and I was very impressed. Something flashes back in my mind again, which is very impressive. A whole wall was full of patents, and he was telling me that while we hear about Intels and others of the world, but much more significant work is happening in this office, and he showed to me how these patents are the examples of that. So very, very impressed that the same momentum is continued in this new Avatara. After Silicon Labs have taken over Red Pine, it has got a chance to establish its footprint in Hyderabad, and pleased to learn that you have ramped up from 200 to 500, but much more music to my ears is that you are planning to triple it, hopefully in the next 2-3 years, which is amazing. But what I would like to mention is that what I would also like to mention, in fact, I really appreciated the last point which Matt mentioned, that you would like to become a part of the community. And that is something which we in the government feel very, very passionately about. I mean, hundreds of IT companies keep establishing new offices here, become a part of the Hyderabad IT story. But our effort on behalf of the government is how easily they get integrated into the larger community. How do they contribute to the enrichment of that community? And of course, how do they benefit from being in that community? So I'd like to share a few thoughts with all of you. Obviously, if you are planning to ramp up from 500 to 1500 and maintain the same quality of work, because I just saw your labs and some of the products you have powered some of those amazing products, etc., in terms of longer battery lives, in terms of better performance efficiencies, etc. Obviously, it requires the best possible talent. And in Hyderabad, in Telangana, this is one responsibility which we, as the government, take very, very seriously. So, Venkatesh Garu would know this, of course, but I would like to explain this to everyone, that for about 5 years now, we have identified VLSI as a very, very important high priority sector. We have started conducting capacity building programs for young students, people who are about to complete their formal engineering education, who are looking at getting into this space, but they require some finishing. So for the last 3 years, actually we started it just when COVID was, all these restrictions were beginning to roll in. So a couple of batches were done completely online, but I guess we are now moving into a face-to-face kind of a session. So some very important VLSI programs have been designed with the help of the industry. Some of the best-known VLSI companies also have presence in Hyderabad. Companies like Moschip and Xilinx and AMD, etc. And all of them have given their tools, their licenses, absolutely free of cost for the students to practice, the students to pick up VLSI skills. And we want to do more and more. In fact, I remember when we had started the program, I had conducted an online session just to expose students on what this world entails, what kind of career opportunities are there. And there was an overwhelming response, which had also led us to rework our strategy to accommodate more batches, more number of students, etc. So there's a huge appetite for people to come into this space. And if all of you are able to contribute to the way these courses need to be designed based on your requirements, eventually these are not academic kind of courses. These are extremely tailored to the needs of the industries. And if you tell us that these are the skill sets we look for in the employees, we will ensure that these skill sets are available to with the students. And right on day one, when they are employed by you, you can put them on a real live project and they should be able to deliver. The other facet which we also feel very strong about is about innovation. See, these are areas, and we saw examples upstairs when we saw the labs, that amazing amount of innovation is possible and is actually happening. You are, of course, driving it. But there are large number of people, startups, entrepreneurs, freelancers, who have their own ideas. They may not be a part of Silicon Labs formally, but they are also doing similar work, or they intend to do something which is equally important, interesting, etc. So how do we work with them? How do you bring them into your own corporate innovation programs. And again, I'm happy to share with you that we have recently got some space not very far from here, where we want to set up a dedicated incubator for the VLSI startups, etc. So, and obviously the success of these kind of incubators is determined to a large extent by the kind of corporate partnership and corporate support and that mentoring, etc., which your senior engineers and your experts can provide. So do look up that possibility also, because that will, of course, benefit the startups much more than you do. But sometimes you also get someone look at some problem that you may be facing over a long period of time, to look at it from a new perspective, from an outsider's perspective. And I have seen this happen. Many corporates in Hyderabad, after they have run innovation challenges amongst startups, many of them have told us that some very long persisting problem got a solution, a practical implementable solution through some startup who kind of pointed them in the right direction. So again, that is something which Silicon Labs must really kind of do. And I'll introduce our VLSI colleagues who handle these skilling programs, innovation programs to you. So Mr. Venkatesh Garu knows them, but I'll also bring them, I'll ask them to come and get introduced to you. The other important bit is about the applications of wireless IoT. We have seen some in the lab. I did ask about who are the clients who are going to use some of these. And we know some of your clients who are, of course, very, very important. But there is a tremendous amount of opportunity in India in particular, and also in Telangana, of actually solving real-life problems using IoT, using sensors. And this is something which, again, is core to our technology DNA. We feel that no technology is worth it unless it is able to solve some pressing problems which the most common person faces. And keeping this philosophy in mind, we have started encouraging IoT applications and applications of other emerging technologies in various other verticals. And I'll give you a couple of examples. So many of you would know this, that agriculture is one sector which supports the largest number of livelihoods in the rural areas. But there are lots of inefficiencies in agriculture, the way it is practiced today. Farmers lose out on production, lose out on productivity, lose out on incomes due to various gaps in their methodology. And we have started working on it very seriously for the last approximately, let us say, 3.5 years. And we have found some very, very useful solutions, IoT-driven solutions. For example, there is a concept in agriculture which is called precision agriculture. But to implement precision agriculture, you need to have, again, precise data points about moisture, about humidity, about alkalinity, and so on and so forth, about the soil, about the weather. And we have found that there are devices which can capture all these very accurately, real time. And if that information is fed into the scientists' dashboards, they are able to give precise recommendations. And just by following simple precision practices in their chain, they are able to improve their productivity and production, etc. Similar opportunities are there in livestock. I have seen, again, personally, it's not very far from here, close to the airport, a large dairy farm. Obviously, there will be thousands of animals. And obviously, when we feel ill or unwell, there is a way in which we inform to the doctors. Animals can't do that. So they have used, again, sensor technologies to identify which animals' body heat or whatever else they measure. They are able to then attend to that animal and then get the animal back into its normal shape as early as possible, and therefore the milk production and whatever else they use the animals for, all that happens in a normal way. There are so many other good uses also. In fact, it's a good coincidence that we are in this function today. Tomorrow, we are doing the groundbreaking of a French company which has its first factory is already here in Hyderabad, in the outskirts of Hyderabad. This company is called Schneider. And coincidentally, I only inaugurated their smart factory. So that factory has been identified as a smart factory. Actually, it won the Best Smart Factory Award across the world. This award was given to them by the World Economic Forum last year in Davos. That factory is in Hyderabad. And as I said, since I inaugurated it, I spent lots of time to understand what has made it smart. And some amazing things happened. In fact, literally every piece of machine has monitors which tell you how the machine is functioning, what kind of maintenance schedule do you need to implement for that machine. But obviously at the back end, wireless plays a very important role because it's a huge factory, and to ensure seamless kind of connectivity between machine to machine. I don't know whom did they choose to kind of get their technologies implemented, but that is just one example on how we can bring in hundreds of such factories into this concept of smart factories, smart industries. Smart city, of course, is something which is happening all the time. And in India also, cities like Hyderabad, Warangal, Karimnagar, they are officially a part of the Smart Cities program. And there's a lot which one can try out. I remember many years ago, 6-7 years ago, when the Smart Cities concept was first being talked about in this country. One of the system integrators had chosen the main road, actually, the main high-tech city road, from the beginning till IIIT junction, to showcase 8 kinds of smart parking, smart lighting, and so on and so forth. But I feel very happy that you are part of the Living Labs experiment, which is happening in IIIT. We are also a part of collaborators to that, along with the Government of India, the German institutions, and many other private companies. And happy to learn from you, Manish, that you have made good progress. And some of the work that you have done there is going to be inaugurated formally in the next few days. But lots of opportunities are there in that area as well. Mobility, again, is something which we believe is the new frontier to really tackle. And earlier I was telling you that since you are located in Hyderabad, you should benefit from 2 very premier academic institutions, the IIT and the IIIT, where lots of this wireless related work is going on. In fact, some of you may not know this. Today we are on the cusp of rolling out of 5G, but for the last 3-4 years, the test bed of 5G protocols was actually at IIT Hyderabad. And today all the standards, all the protocols which, in fact on 1st of October, the official launch of 5G is happening. But the entire back-end work for more than 3 years actually happened here in IIT. So please join hands with them and also understand from them. I remember a few months ago, I had tried to introduce them to a institution in Norway, I guess, which has started working on 6G now. And since you also have links in Scandinavia, you have facilities there as well. Maybe you can also contribute to some of the advanced work that we should do to prepare ourselves, the country itself, for 6G rollout in the near future. So as I said, multiple opportunities, and if you are very serious about enriching the community, lots of things are happening. Associations are involved in doing so. Private companies are involved. Academic institutions are involved. As a government, our role is to bring everything together and enjoy everyone's success. And that is why we are here for. But all the same, I'm very, very glad that, Matt, you have come personally and you have seen how things are here in this state. Amongst the 28 states in the country, there are about half a dozen states which are today pushing the frontiers of technology exploration. And I'm very proud to share this with you, that this state of Telangana is really at the top of that. And the presence of companies like yours will give us a further boost, will be a big support for all our endeavors. So good luck to all of you. While I have appreciated everything else that you do here, I feel mighty impressed with everything. One point which I should speak about, when I learned that only 50% people are coming to the office, this is something which the government does not really look up in a good way. When everything is becoming normal, we should bring as many people to the offices as possible. So please push. And when you mentioned Venkatesh Garu, that some of them come 3 days a week, I hope you are not one of them. You should set a good personal example of being here all the time. So, but anyway, I do hope that you continue to grow and succeed. And tomorrow, the contribution that this office makes to all the global work which Silicon Labs is doing, that is really at the top. It is really appreciated. So good wishes once again, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Shri Jayesh Ranjan, and we are, the VLSI effort is pretty amazing. So that's a great initiative by the state government of Telangana and the vision of the IT ministry here. And Venkatesh and I, with IESA, we've been having discussions on how to tap into that, because the hardware design talent globally is highly constrained. And also the smart city customer, the smart factory, Schneider is one of our customers of Ross, who's here, our SVP. Yeah, so we're very happy to learn that, it's in Hyderabad. I didn't know that, so thank you for that. Okay, I also want to, before I hand over to Venkatesh, who's going to do a little bit of a briefing in the local language, Telugu, for the media here, I also want to thank Piyush Agarwal and Mahesh Khaitanji from the Satwa Group, who have been amazingly helpful and in this entire build out and their support. So real thanks to you all and the Satwa team. So big hand round of applause for them. Venkatesh, if you could please do your briefing. Thank you.
Jayesh, thanks so much. We have every intention. We have been doing a lot to involve the community in what we want to do. We want to grow the ecosystem together. The VLSI committee initiative from Telangana government, we are very supportive. We are seeing results already. Some of our young engineers have actually contributed to creating training modules for that was broadcast over the TSAT program, the Telangana government initiative to reach hundreds of colleges. So not just in Hyderabad. So our engineers have also been participating in creating a basic foundational modules so that people can get interested in VLSI and actually address the talent crunch that we have. So the talent is the most important part of it. Apart from the IIIT Living Lab, where tomorrow we are inaugurating the country's first Wi-SUN network. So Wi-SUN is a wireless protocol for which India has allocated free spectrum. Now spectrum is extremely expensive, and if a portion of that spectrum has been allocated for smart city networks, it is a tremendous achievement in terms of what can be done in enabling easy communication for all smart city applications extended to agriculture. Wi-SUN can go over 1 kilometer, so the agriculture community will have much less costs in laying out a network of sensors and drones which collect information. And tomorrow we are inaugurating the country's first campus-wide Wi-SUN network, and we hope to share some information with you. Okay. So we are also actually, establishing an IoT innovation lab in Osmania University. We are also engaged with IIT Hyderabad in research and higher education opportunities for us. We are working closely with several institutions here, hoping that students will start looking at creating innovative products while in their college and not work on projects. We want them to create innovative products the way our global customers have been creating. Okay, so that is something that we will help them all to do. Okay, all right, so for the benefit of the other press here, Silicon Labs, wireless IoT loka innovative company, that is Austin, Texas lo headquarters ఉంది అక్కడ. ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్లో ఇప్పుడు 500 ఇంజనీర్స్ ఉన్నాం ఇక్కడ. ఇంకా 2-3 సంవత్సరాల్లో 1500 ఇంజనీర్స్కి అవకాశం ఇస్తున్నాము. వాళ్ళ ప్రతిభని ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ని కన్వర్ట్ చేయడానికి అవకాశం ఇస్తున్నాము. ఈ మా వైర్లెస్ చిప్స్ ఈ మన మెడికల్ డివైసెస్లో, ఇంట్లో ఉన్న ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, ఫ్యాక్టరీలో ఉన్న ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, తర్వాత మన స్మార్ట్ సిటీలో ఉన్న ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ సిస్టమ్స్ అన్నీ అన్నిటికీ ఉపయోగపడతాయి ఈ మా చిప్స్. ఇలాంటి అప్లికేషన్స్, చాలా కొత్త అప్లికేషన్స్ ప్రపంచంలో అన్ని కంపెనీస్లో ఇన్నోవేటివ్ కంపెనీస్ మా దగ్గర వస్తారు. ఈ అడ్వాన్స్ సొల్యూషన్స్, ఎందుకంటే ఈ సొల్యూషన్స్ని బయట తీసుకురావడానికి యూ నీడ్ చాలా స్పెసిఫిక్ ఏమంటారు ఫీచర్స్ కావాల్సింది. మా ఇంజనీర్స్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ తర్వాత హార్డ్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్స్ వాళ్ళ అన్ని కస్టమర్స్ని హెల్ప్ చేసి ఇలాంటి ప్రోడక్ట్స్ని తీసుకొచ్చి ఓకే చాలా ఇన్నోవేటివ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ చాలా ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ సిస్టమ్స్ మన స్నైడర్ మన మెట్రానిక్స్ మెడికల్ అప్లికేషన్స్ చాలా ఫేమస్ కంపెనీస్ అన్నీ మా చిప్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాయి. ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి ఇంకా మళ్ళీ కొత్త కొత్త ప్రోడక్ట్స్ వస్తాయి. తర్వాత చాలా ఇంజనీర్స్ ఇక్కడ పనిచేస్తారు. వాళ్ళకి అవకాశం ఇస్తాం మేము టు గ్రో అప్ అండ్ వాళ్ళకి సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ మన కమ్యూనిటీకి అందరికీ హెల్ప్ చేసి సిలికాన్ ల్యాబ్స్ హైదరాబాద్లో మీ సహాయతం ద్వారా విల్ గో ఫార్వర్డ్. ఓకే మీ హెల్ప్కి మీ సపోర్ట్కి ఓకే ఓకే సో మా ధన్యవాదములు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Venkatesh. So with that, I think we're going to conclude the session. So before I do, again, I'd like to thank Matt Johnson, our CEO, Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji here, Venkatesh and my entire exec staff, all the staff here and the media and the Sattva group and everyone who's supporting this event. Thank you so much. A big round of applause.